The ocean is already a chilling place, but when you factor in the nightmare-inducing creatures lurking beneath the surface, it becomes a true abyss of terror. From legendary sea monsters of the past to newly discovered deep-sea horrors, here are 15 terrifying sea creatures that actually exist. Number 15. Flesh-eating harp sponge. Mother Nature's newest terrifying creature of the ocean comes to us in the form of a sponge. I know it doesn't seem so scary. Even its shape, resembling a candelabra, is less than intimidating. This carnivorous plant changes everything. Dubbed the harp sponge for its remarkable resemblance to its namesake instrument, it is a deadly predator. Those arms you see sticking out and floating about the water come equipped with sticky barbed hooks and cover the entirety of the limbs. Luring prey with its sweet smell, creatures approach, thinking it's safe to rest and eat. Once they're near enough, the barbs ensnare their prey. Once the harp sponge has its prey in its grasp, its limbs begin excreting a thin membrane that encapsulates and digests the prey. This plant can even remove its roots from the area and get carried away by the waves to a more suitable hunting ground. Ever heard of a plant doing that? Its limbs, if ever broken or attacked, can grow back. It's like a hydra, sprouting more new limbs when one is removed. Just 20 years ago, scientists first learned that sponges can be carnivores. Most lived in the deep ocean, making it difficult to thoroughly research and understand. Number 14. Comb jelly. While this member of the jellyfish family is undoubtedly beautiful and uniquely colored, at the depths in which they live, they are nearly invisible. These creatures are beautiful, but also terrifying. Looking from behind a computer screen is remarkable, but seeing one in the deep would send shivers down your spine. The ghostly jelly comes in varied shades of red, but always has a blood-red stomach, hence the name. The spectacle of glittering light you see dancing throughout the rest of its body comes from light diffracting and refracting off tiny transparent cilia that help them blend in with surroundings. At the depths in which these babies live, there is no light. It's their defense mechanism from predators of the deep. Get this, the species has only recently come to the attention of scientists. This creature too is starting to rise from its depths to shallower water. The brilliant red paints a giant target on their back in those waters. Number 13. Diamondback squid egg masses. Its common name is derived from its large, unique diamond-shaped fin extending along the length of its body. Unlike most other squids, this terror has no light organs. Their arms have 2 rows of suckers and wide protective webs along their length. They live to surf the shallower water searching for food, which consists of smaller fish and even other squids. Depending on the size of the diamondback, it can eat quite a lot. When they're ready to mate, females lay long, sausage-esque tubes that act as a protective shell for their eggs. These masses can be massive. You can't deny how awesome these masses look after being laid. Females can lay up to 3 different masses at a time, each containing hundreds of eggs. While the mother goes off and continues its life, it's never too far from the nest. Other squids, sharks, and whales are the diamondback's biggest predators, and they all have a sweet tooth for their eggs. Number 12. Skeleton shrimp. It's easy to see why this guy was named a skeleton. Just look at him. They're practically floating bones. These tiny shrimp are gangly amphipods sporting transparent, stick-like bodies. They live attached to hydroids, sponges, and vegetation, mainly in the middle and lower Chesapeake Bay. There must be plenty of food there if the whole species can be quantified into a single area. Their translucent bodies make them nearly invisible to predators, allowing them to blend seamlessly into their surroundings. This camouflage is essential for their survival, as they are a favorite snack for small fish and other marine predators. Skeleton shrimp are known for their unique, clinging behavior, using their specialized legs to latch onto surfaces and sway gently with the current. Despite their fragile appearance, they are surprisingly resilient and can survive in a variety of environments, from shallow waters to deeper ocean zones. Their diet consists mainly of plankton and detritus, which they filter from the water using their tiny appendages. Interestingly, skeleton shrimp are also known to exhibit cannibalistic tendencies, with larger individuals sometimes preying on smaller ones. This behavior, while gruesome, helps regulate their population and ensures that only the strongest survive. There are others of the genus located worldwide, but even they act in a similar pattern. They're barely identifiable as anything other than a stick to the untrained eye. These animals mate sexually, but the female often kills the male after fertilization. Hardcore, I know. The females have one poisonous claw they use to catch food and kill the male once the time has come. Though this type of reproduction is brutal, it's not uncommon. Many land animals, including the praying mantis, kill the male. Number 11. Deep-sea lizardfish. Get out of here with those teeth. The deep-sea lizardfish is a terrifying creature with enough influence to keep people from ever entering the ocean. This guy comes straight to us from mythology. While it was recorded early on in human history, it was deemed a sea monster. Its aesthetic indeed suggests a prehistoric monster, unlike most modern fish you see today. With a spiky top fin and teeth like those, no typical human would ever approach these beasts. The teeth of the deep-sea lizardfish are so sharp and needle-like that they can pierce through even the toughest scales of their prey. These teeth are angled inward, ensuring that once prey is caught, there's no escape. Their large mouths allow them to swallow prey almost as large as themselves, making them apex predators in their environment. They are ambush hunters, lying motionless on the ocean floor and waiting for unsuspecting prey to swim by before striking with lightning speed. Their ability to survive in the crushing depths of the ocean, where light is non-existent, is due to their highly adapted eyes, which can detect even the faintest glimmers of bioluminescence. Despite their fearsome appearance, they play a crucial role in the deep-sea ecosystem by keeping populations of smaller fish and invertebrates in check. However, their rapid reproduction and hermaphroditic nature make them a potential threat to ecosystems outside their natural habitat. Scientists are closely monitoring their populations to ensure they don't become invasive in areas where they don't belong. Though they resemble shallow water lizardfish, the deep-sea variant grows much larger. Get this, these fish don't even need a partner to reproduce. They've both male and female sex organs. Because of this ease of reproduction, they have grown in numbers. They're considered a conservation concern for this very reason. Any animal that can come in and reproduce at such a rapid rate often dominates. These guys could wreak havoc on an ecosystem that hasn't housed them before. Now it's time for today's topic. Off the coast of Brazil, a group of fishermen made a shocking and unsettling discovery when they pulled up their nets and found a massive, unidentified sea creature entangled in their catch. At first glance, they assumed it was a whale or a giant fish, but as they examined it closer, they realized it was unlike anything they had ever encountered before. The creature, already lifeless when brought aboard, had rough, leathery skin, an elongated body, and features that didn't match any known marine species. Some parts of its body resembled a prehistoric reptile, while others bore traits of deep-sea creatures rarely seen near the surface. Despite its enormous size, no one could identify what it truly was. Authorities and marine biologists were quickly alerted, and the remains were handed over to researchers for further examination. While some speculate it could be an undiscovered deep-sea species, others believe it may be a genetic mutation or even the decayed body of a known animal distorted by time and water. As debates rage on about its origin, one thing remains clear. Something strange is lurking in the depths of Brazil's waters, and this is only the beginning of a much larger mystery. Number 10. The Great Barracuda. These spectacular fish are some of the most well-known. They're also among the fastest fish in the sea. Its long and thin body is designed for speed. Since it's one of the most well-known fish, we have plenty of details about them. For instance, their top speed has been estimated to reach 36 miles per hour. That's incredible. They're among the easiest to identify in the wild by the distinctive silver shine of their scales, along with many dark stripes on the upper half of the body. Barracudas are opportunistic predators, using their speed and sharp teeth to ambush prey like smaller fish, squid, and crustaceans. Their razor-sharp teeth are perfectly designed to tear through flesh, and they often strike with such force that their prey has no chance to escape. Despite their fearsome reputation, barracudas are not typically dangerous to humans unless provoked or startled. Divers often report encounters with barracudas, describing their curious behavior as they hover nearby, watching intently with their large, glassy eyes. Some species of barracuda are known to hunt in groups, herding schools of fish into tight clusters before attacking. Their streamlined bodies and powerful tails make them incredibly agile, allowing them to make sharp turns and sudden bursts of speed. Barracudas are also known for their ability to leap out of the water, a behavior that has been observed during feeding or when evading predators. Their role in the marine ecosystem is vital, as they help control populations of smaller fish, maintaining balance in their habitats. A tall, great barracudas can grow to massive sizes, some exceeding 5 feet long and weighing more than 100 pounds. They don't live very long, only about 14 years. Because of their incredible speed and massive size, there are few predators that can take on a barracuda. Even if something like a great white or whale swings past for a nibble, they'd never be able to catch the speedy fish. Number 9. Floating spaghetti monster. Is this an animal or an overturned bowl of spaghetti? While it certainly appears to be noodles, it's indeed a creature. Aptly named the floating spaghetti monster, these bizarre creatures cruise along the ocean's bottom. Its spaghetti tendrils feel for crustaceans and other prey. It's basically a living underwater vacuum. Workers on the BP oil rig captured footage of this strange-looking animal while collecting video evidence some 4,000 feet beneath the surface. To say the least, the workers were flabbergasted at what they saw and submitted the evidence to experts. The tendrils, or tentacles, of the siphonophore are covered in specialized cells called nematocysts, which deliver a venomous sting to paralyze prey. Despite its fragile, noodle-like appearance, the siphonophore is a highly efficient predator, capable of capturing and consuming prey much larger than itself. What's even more fascinating is that siphonophores are not a single organism but a colony of specialized individuals, or zooids, that work together as one. Each zooid has a specific function, such as feeding, reproduction, or movement, making the siphonophore a marvel of cooperative biology. Some siphonophores can grow to incredible lengths, with certain species reaching up to 130 feet, making them some of the longest animals on Earth. The floating spaghetti monster, however, is much smaller, but its unique appearance has captured the imagination of scientists and the public alike. Researchers are now studying how these creatures adapt to the extreme pressures and darkness of the deep sea, where they thrive. The discovery has also sparked interest in how siphonophores contribute to the deep sea food web, as they play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of marine ecosystems. Because the team on the oil rig discovered it, the name they called it stuck. Researchers at the National Oceanography Center later identified the creature as a siphonophore. Closely related to the jellyfish and corals, siphonophores are colonial animals, according to the experts. Number 8. Headless chicken monster. Other creatures have been dubbed the chicken of the sea, but because of their food yield, not appearance. This scary sea beast comes at us as the first that actually looks like a chicken, save for its missing head of course. With a body like a plump-breasted and decapitated chicken, the bizarre creature is neither a chicken nor a monster. It's a swimming sea cucumber. Experts recently captured never-before-seen footage of this bizarre swimmer in the Southern Ocean near eastern Antarctica. It's never been observed in the ecosystem before, further solidifying the oceans are changing. The swimming sea cucumber, scientifically known as Anipnias saximia, has translucent skin, allowing researchers to see its internal organs as it glides through the water. Its unique swimming ability, using fin-like appendages, sets it apart from other sea cucumbers, which typically crawl along the ocean floor. The creature's bright pinkish-red coloration and gelatinous texture make it look even more otherworldly. Scientists believe its ability to swim helps it avoid predators and search for food more efficiently in the nutrient-scarce deep sea. It feeds by sifting through sediment on the ocean floor, consuming organic material and leaving behind clean sand, playing a vital role in the ecosystem. The discovery of this sea cucumber so far from its usual habitat has raised questions about how changing ocean temperatures and currents are affecting marine life distribution. Researchers are now studying whether this migration is a one-time anomaly or part of a larger trend caused by climate change. Names like a frilly pillowcase, bloody flying squirrel, and a raw steak with fins were early names. There's no denying the resemblance to all those things. The peculiar creature drifts around the ocean but typically never very far from its original home. Finding one so far away from their home in the Gulf of Mexico was unheard of before now. One thing is sure, more and more strange creatures are emerging and drifting far from their native habitats, and allowing humans to finally catch a glimpse in all their glory. Number 7. Deep-sea zombie worms. These are some strange, dreadful worms. Lacking mouths and guts, these little terrors are sure to induce nightmares. They survive by attaching themselves to prey, then branching out a root system that penetrates and digests flesh and bone. Once the roots have taken hold, it releases a collagen and secretion that slowly but surely kills and digests the host. These worms, known as ostacs or bone-eating worms, are a fascinating example of how life adapts to extreme environments. Their root-like structures, called roots of death, are not only used for feeding but also for anchoring themselves firmly to the bones of their prey. Female ostax worms are the primary feeders, while the males are tiny and live inside the females, existing solely to reproduce. Scientists have discovered that these worms rely on symbiotic bacteria within their bodies to break down the proteins and lipids in the bones they consume. This unique relationship allows them to thrive in nutrient-poor environments where other creatures would struggle to survive. Ostax worms are often found colonizing whale carcasses, which provide a massive food source for entire ecosystems on the ocean floor. Their ability to rapidly break down bones has made them a key player in the deep-sea nutrient cycle. Despite their gruesome feeding habits, they play an essential role in maintaining the balance of deep-sea ecosystems by recycling organic material. Since 2004, scientists worldwide have collectively discovered 32 species occurring at depths ranging from 10 to 5,000 meters. Depending on the species, they're capable of colonizing a broad array of bones. From fish to whatever dies and falls into the ocean, these tiny worms quickly move in and consume. They're so efficient at consuming bones that they're actually keeping the ocean floor free from such debris. That is, of course, in the areas they can be found. Number 6. Giant sea spiders. There just had to be spiders in the ocean, didn't there? There weren't enough terrifying monsters living there, I guess. Not only are there spiders in the ocean, but they're brutal and terrifying predators that literally suck the life out of their prey. Its leg can span a whopping 25 centimeters compared with that of the world's largest land spiders like the Goliath bird-eating tarantula. In actuality, these little monsters aren't spiders at all but arthropods. The speck on the right is a normal sea spider from the Pacific Northwest. They're a species of aquatic animal found shuffling around the ocean floor. Most discovered were relatively small. However, in polar regions, where they grow to massive sizes, scientists believe the phenomenon of polar gigantism may be at play, a theory suggesting that colder temperatures and higher oxygen levels allow these creatures to grow larger. Their long, spindly legs are not just for walking. They also house parts of their digestive system and even their reproductive organs, a feature unique to sea spiders. Despite their creepy appearance, they move slowly and methodically, almost like underwater ghosts haunting the ocean floor. Researchers have observed that their proboscis is highly specialized, allowing them to feed on soft-bodied prey by sucking out their insides like a straw. Some species have even been seen feeding on coral, leaving behind trails of destruction in their wake. Sea spiders are also known for their unusual circulatory system, as they lack a traditional heart and instead rely on the movement of their legs to pump blood throughout their bodies. This strange anatomy has made them a subject of fascination for marine biologists, who are still uncovering the mysteries of how these creatures survive in such extreme environments. It's by the Earth's poles where these animals grow massive. Why? Still a mystery. Like their land counterparts, sea spiders have 8 legs, but it's not a defining feature. Some even have 10 to 12 legs. These guys feed on worms, sponges, and other smaller creatures through a proboscis that allows them to pierce and suck out their food. Number 5. The faceless fish. Let's face it, there are a lot of different types of sea creatures out there. Most of them have never been discovered. Even with that fact, we've discovered some pretty terrifying beasts out there in the deep. Take this faceless fish, for instance, who decided to pop his elusive head from the depths. A species of this type hasn't been seen in over a decade. Can you believe that? The small fish was rediscovered 2.5 miles below sea level just south of Sydney. Its lack of visible eyes and a mouth positioned underneath its body give it an eerie, almost alien-like appearance. Scientists believe that its unique anatomy is an adaptation to the pitch-black depths where eyesight is unnecessary, and other senses, like touch and smell, dominate. The rediscovery of this fish has sparked renewed interest in deep-sea exploration, as researchers wonder what other bizarre creatures might be lurking in the unexplored trenches. Some experts speculate that changes in ocean currents or rising temperatures may be forcing these deep-sea creatures to venture closer to the surface. The faceless fish's reappearance has also raised concerns about the health of deep-sea ecosystems, which are often the first to show signs of environmental stress. The area where it was found is part of a deep-sea habitat that has been largely untouched by human activity, making it a critical site for studying the impacts of climate change. Researchers are now deploying advanced submersibles and remote-operated vehicles to monitor the region more closely. The discovery has also reignited debates about the need for stricter protections of deep-sea environments, which are increasingly threatened by deep-sea mining and pollution. And if you've been paying attention, you'll note that many aquatic animals have been acting strangely as of late. The reappearance of this guy is a testament to that. What else is staring down there, causing these animals to rise? Experts are unsure. They suspect, however, that new undiscovered species will be popping up too if the trend continues. While this is exciting for researchers, it's also scaring them. These deep creatures tend to only rise when the environment has become inhabitable. We're getting to that point. Researchers are keeping a close eye on the area. Number 4. The megamouth shark. This shark sure has a big mouth. It's no wonder where its name derived. This megamouth is so rare, it's the genus's only member. In other words, there are no other animals like it on planet Earth. First discovered in 1976 on accident, when one became entangled in a fisherman's nets and lines. Get this, there have only been a little over 100 sightings since its discovery. I know, right? The most recent sighting on record comes from Indonesia's Komodo Island. Despite its intimidating appearance, the megamouth shark is a filter feeder, relying on plankton and small fish for sustenance. Its slow, almost lazy swimming style makes it an easy target for predators, which may explain why it spends most of its time in the deep ocean. Researchers have noted that its bioluminescent mouth may play a role in attracting prey, a unique adaptation for a shark of its size. The megamouth's body is soft and flabby compared to other sharks, which is likely an adaptation to its deep-sea environment. Its large, rubbery lips and small, tooth-lined jaws give it a bizarre, almost alien-like appearance. Scientists are still puzzled by its migratory patterns, as some individuals have been found thousands of miles apart, suggesting they travel vast distances. The rarity of sightings has made it difficult to study their behavior and population size, leaving much of their life cycle a mystery. As with many other creatures on this list, seeing one of these in the wild is like seeing a real-life sea monster. Just look at that mouth. The knowledge base is steadily growing as interested parties grow too. Experts have been led to believe the sharks follow a deep scattering layer in the open ocean, meaning they aren't in groups and are rarely, if ever, found in pairs. Using their gaping mouths, they feed by literally sucking in like a vacuum, descending back into the depths once it's had its meal. Recently, they've been sighted between the shallow and deep waters off the coast of Taiwan and Japan, but have been observed traveling from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Number 3. Terrifying anglerfish. Do all the creatures of the deep have to be so darn scary? When it comes to the anglerfish, their true horrors of the ocean range from their appearance to their lifestyle. I mean, even the mating process is more horror than the beautiful act of nature. For an extended period, the only discovered sex of the anglerfish has been females. Confused, researchers were dying to get their hands on a male, they just never turned up. So where did they all go? A decade after their initial discovery, they found a female with 2 babies attached to her underbelly. This posed even more questions as to how the male was ever able to attach to them. It was later discovered that the male anglerfish doesn't just attach to the female, it fuses with her body, becoming a permanent parasite. Over time, the male's eyes, fins, and even internal organs degenerate, leaving only his reproductive organs functional. The female provides all the nutrients the male needs to survive, essentially absorbing him into her body. This bizarre relationship ensures that the female always has a mate available, even in the vast, empty darkness of the deep sea. Scientists were astounded by this extreme form of sexual dimorphism, where the male is so drastically different from the female that it was initially unrecognizable as the same species. The discovery also raised questions about how such a unique reproductive strategy evolved in the harsh environment of the deep ocean. It's a chilling reminder of how life in the deep sea adapts in ways that seem almost alien to us. The male angler had already been discovered, but it was misclassified because of a massively different appearance. Get this, the male anglerfish is a mere appendage of the female, meaning the males are entirely reliant for life on the females. Males can't hunt, eat, even defecate on their own. The horrors of the deep feed their male counterparts as if they were babies for all their life. Experts claim that males exist to reproduce and nothing more. Number 2. The magnapinna squid. This creature is nothing short of terrifying. The way it coasts about, those tendrils hanging low below its body, sends chills down my spine. The magnapinna squid, also known as the big fin squid, resembles more ghosts and sea creatures. Though it's possible humans got the idea of the sheeted ghost from these monsters, I'd say it even resembles one of the alien machines from War of the Worlds. It's no wonder these things evoke such dread in humans. The rare footage of the creature shows its long fins, which make up 90% of its body. The largest ever discovered was 10 feet long. Scientists believe that the magnapinna squid's tendrils can extend up to 20 times the length of its body, making it one of the most bizarre-looking creatures in the deep sea. These tendrils are covered in microscopic suckers, which help the squid latch onto its prey with precision. The squid's translucent body and ghostly appearance allow it to blend seamlessly into the dark depths, making it nearly invisible to predators and prey alike. Its movements are slow and deliberate, almost as if it's floating rather than swimming, adding to its eerie presence. The magnapinna squid is so rare that only a handful of sightings have ever been recorded, leaving much of its behavior and biology a mystery. Researchers speculate that it lives at depths of over 15,000 feet, where the pressure is immense and light is almost non-existent. This makes studying the creature incredibly difficult, as the technology required to reach such depths is still limited. Could you imagine coming face to face with this thing? I might have nightmares from that right now. If anything looks like a sea monster, it's undoubtedly this squid. Those long tendrils are actually used for hunting. Lowering them deep into the water, its larger body mass stays afloat, out from the vision of its prey. Thinking the tendrils are a source of food, prey swims to them and gets snatched up. In essence, the squid is fishing. The footage was taken from an underwater offshore Shell oil station where the squid can be seen in all its glory. It may be the last footage of the elusive creature we get for some time. The workers on the rig said it was the first and only sighting to this day. Number 1. The supergiant amphipod. The creepiest looking creatures of the sea. Crustaceans are often attributed to their small size and delectable taste. If these things were any bigger, they'd definitely be more terrifying. It looks like giant crustaceans live in the deep and only seen by humans a handful of times throughout history. That means you just witnessed history, folks. Yikes, this thing is creepy. Scientists on the deep-sea expedition were gathering samples in a trench when they got a surprise. Their traps and tests had revealed a legendary creature no longer thought to exist. The supergiant amphipods are more than 20 times larger than the typical crustacean counterparts. These amphipods were found in one of the deepest parts of the ocean, where extreme pressure and cold temperatures create a unique environment for such creatures to thrive. Researchers were astonished by their translucent exoskeletons, which shimmered under the lights of the submersible, giving them an otherworldly appearance. The amphipod size is believed to be a result of deep-sea gigantism, a phenomenon where creatures in the deep grow much larger than their shallow water relatives. Their discovery raises questions about what other mysterious creatures might be lurking in the unexplored depths of the ocean. The team noted that these amphipods were scavengers, feeding on organic material that drifts down from the surface, which explains their presence in the trench. The expedition also revealed that these creatures are incredibly resilient, surviving in conditions that would crush most other life forms. This discovery has sparked excitement among marine biologists, who hope to study the amphipods further to understand their biology and role in the deep-sea ecosystem. We pulled up the trap, and lying among the fish were those absolutely massive amphipods, and there was no inkling whatsoever that these things should be there, said Alan Jameson, a researcher that went along for the journey. They managed to capture not one, not two, but 7 specimens, in which the largest reached a length of 11 inches. That's one big shrimp. This expedition goes down in history as the largest retrieval of giant amphipods in history. Boom, you live through 2 scientific historical moments, and that's just from one topic. Sea creatures are among the most bizarre and fear-inducing beings on the planet, and it's no surprise that the ocean's depths fuel endless imagination. While thousands of species have been identified, countless more likely remain undiscovered, lurking in the abyss. Who knows what incredible creatures will be found next? Stay tuned to Thought Trail for more mind-blowing discoveries. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting content straight to your inbox. See you in the next video.